Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Well, gonna look at my flags here. See my windsock moving, going nuts. Gonna take Bigfoot up. Look at the trees, look at the tops of them trees, how everything's moving. My point today is to show that don't be afraid of the wind, embrace wind, because it'll make for a much stronger pilot, but just make sure you fly with a plane you are supremely confident with. And the Bigfoot is one of those ones that definitely what I call a skill maker. But you're not gonna get like precision takeoffs and landings and rolls and all that. I mean, I can do all this, but the wind is also nuts. I'm the only pilot out here right now. Only one crazy enough to put his planes through this. But
time remaining 5 minutes.
You can have a lot of fun with the wind.
Landing flaps.
We'll put the landing flaps in, put her into the wind, and do this almost, yeah, look at that. I'm holding still. And the point of this is almost flying backwards. But right now I'm being cognizant, I can't say that word, of my position, how the wind is moving that plane. I'm constantly making minute throttle, rudder, aileron, elevator corrections at all times. And the reason, and to hold that plane still, okay? All right, flaps are back down. The reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to windsurf and hold that plane still and almost fly backwards. But what the benefit of that is it really improves your skills. And flying in the wind is like, I mean, if you're really wanting to up your game, if you're really wanting to up your skills on your piloting skills, come out here on a windy day with a plane you're confident with and have some fun. And try to keep that plane as still as possible as it challenges that wind and it attacks the wind. And let the plane attack the wind, don't let the wind attack the plane, okay? Now I'm just running, this is stock setup Bigfoot. I don't have 4S, I've got a 3S 2700, but I do have one trick in a plane. If you're gonna fly in the wind, you want it to be a little on the nose heavy side. Okay, I've got the battery as far forward as I can get. I normally I'd have it back just a touch to get CG, but I do want that plane to be a little on the nose heavy side. And try to fly with a little bit bigger a battery than I usually fly Bigfoot. Actually, I fly Bigfoot with a 2200 a lot, but today got a 2700. And because I need a little extra weight, a little bit more nose heavy to give it punch into the wind. And but a little bit of forward CG, making it a little nose heavy, will help you with the wind. Now, I don't suggest that regular flying, just when you got to deal with a lot of wind. But yeah, my point today is just to show that don't be afraid of the wind, embrace it. And if it's with a plane that you're very confident with, you can have a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun. And a great plane to do that with is the Bigfoot. She's just a great all-around plane. A little bit of a knife edge here. Kind of a sloppy one. Now my wind started to die on me.
Remaining 2 minutes.
All right, see if we can actually land the plane on the runway. Wouldn't that be nice? And the wind's kicking up now. There we go. Kind of have to stay back from the plane. Well, you need to, but because of the way I've got the camera angle, I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can, but yet still be able to see the plane too. And it gets out of frame either high or low, so. Some of the things you do when you're a one-man show. Mama had to work today, so me and the Me and the cell phone filming. Not really using the GoPro anymore. I find that I get better film resolution with my Galaxy Ultra 23. All right. All right, that little confined space. Watch how quickly I can take off in the wind there. I wonder if I can hover this plane, even in this wind. Ah. I'm gonna push it back. Look out, it's good.
Time remaining 1 minute.
All right, let's try to land this plane again. Come on, Bigfoot. Come on in here, buddy. Come on. I know, the wind is fighting. You're saying, why are you doing this to me? Hey, bounced into the runway. There. There's a little bit of a better knife edge here.
30 seconds.
All right, we gotta land it now. Check our battery. Come on, baby. Come on down here.
20 seconds.
There we go. Now, what I was doing there, you're thinking, well, what it is, it's so hard to explain. Look how I'm turning against that poor rudder is like, turn against that wind.
Prop secured.
What I'm doing there, as you learn your plane and you learn how to fly in heavier wind like this, you learn it's an unspoken quality. It's something you just can't teach. You have to learn this on your own. You feel the wind against your face, against your skin, okay? And then eventually, as you learn your plane and you develop the feel between your transmitter and your plane, you're able to, it's gonna sound crazy, but you can actually kind of feel the wind against the plane. And what that is, it's just from experience and knowing how that plane moves in that air, and it kind of translates, because that directly corresponds to how you feel the wind on your body and how you hear the wind and feel the wind. So you know what the plane is going through, because how you're feeling it also. And what you're doing is you're trying to feel for that right pocket of air. If you saw, I was kind of dancing back and forth as I went to land. Well, what I was doing, I was trying to find that right pocket of air in that right moment to where I could set her down. That is definitely an advanced skill, but with practice and just getting out here and flying and flying and flying and practicing, you'll develop that feel between you and the plane and the transmitter and the radio and how it all works together. And to where you get to where your fingers controlling your transmitter, you don't think about that anymore. That becomes instinct. And now you're concentrating on how the air feels around your plane. I know that sounds crazy, but as time goes by and you get more and more attuned to each individual aircraft, you'll feel how that plane reacts. And when you get to that point, it's a goal. I call it the feel. I just call it the feel. Every pilot needs to get to that point where he can feel the plane through his transmitter. When you get to that point, you can fly anything that's available. If you can afford it, you can fly it. You just have to have the right practice, skill, time, patience. It's not something you're going to do right off the bat. It's not. You don't get discouraged. You just got to stay at it. This hobby is so incredibly rewarding if you just have patience and time, and you're going to spend some money. It's not cheap. Bye, plane. It said, enough talking. Shut up. Check the battery. We want to go in. It's too windy. All right, let me see if I can hold them, because the way the prop's off. See like how I've got everything. I hold everything to where we can check that battery and you can still see it. And I hold the camera and the transmitter and the plane and the wind all at the same time. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this back on my head now. You're going to go crazy for just a second in the view. I'm going to angle this down, push it down on my eyes, and you should be able to see what I'm doing here. All right. There's where I've got that battery at 2700 all the way forward. As far forward as I can get it, because I want this to be a little on the nose heavy side. But normally I fly it there anyways, but I usually fly at 2200. Yeah, it just depends on what I got charged that day. XC60 connector. But if you're just looking for a good all-around, just a good solid high wing type plane, trainer type, Bigfoot's just absolutely where it's at. You can't go wrong, and you don't need a runner on 4S. I mean, you can run her on 4S if you want to, but she's plenty of power. And that's a 2700 Hobby Star 3S. 2200 is really all you need to fly this plane. 73%. Oh my gosh! And we still had 5 minutes and 10 seconds, and still got 73%. So that just tells you how efficient that plane is. Well, anyways, all right, enough rambling, folks. There you go. God is good. That is the Bigfoot. This is Fat Guy Flies RC, and I want to thank y'all for watching my crazy windy flights. I hope you learned something. I hope I helped y'all. And if I can inspire someone to come out here and just keep trying in this hobby, it's one of the best. In my opinion, it's the best hobby ever created. And thank y'all. God bless y'all, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and then Bigfoots in the wind. Bye bye.